So in the past year, what we have done is move classes online and gotten permanent approvals to do so. We've created online and virtual tours for campuses. We've responded through a coronavirus task force, a home office task force, 5 people that really created a winning strategy for all 20 locations. And I really want to thank Zoe Thompson and Jim and Marie in HR, Nicole in communications, for such incredible, thoughtful work that you've done to lead to great success this year. We had a variety of people, a variety of ages and places in life. We had fathers and mothers, grandfather and grandmother, younger employees. We just such an important mix on this team that led us to think for the best for our students, the best for our employees in this incredible time. And I think, in my opinion, we've had a lot of maturity and calm around this. Not that we felt comfortable every day coming to work, but I think that the way we have maturely handled the situation this year has been very, very strong. Now, of course, we had to cancel some events. We didn't have an education conference this year. We didn't have all of our on-site meetings. We've decided to cancel the on-site admissions meeting in January. We've had to take some responsible choices to make things safe. We also made the choice to separate our workforce to some extent. We've reduced some expenses, but we've continued to serve our campuses and communities. I'm going to give you one example of an event that we did safely in coronavirus at one of our campuses that actually made some national news. So this is AMN. Only a couple of weeks ago, you may know that AMN had a COVID-safe graduation ceremony. I have 2 kids who graduated in 2020. One graduated high school, one graduated college. Neither one of them had a graduation ceremony. But at our campuses, we said, we think we can find a way to safely do it. And here at AMN, we marched safely at a distance. Families were able to gather in the parking lot at a safe distance. And we were able to serve the community and our students. And if you don't think that these families are proud and happy to have gotten to enjoy their graduation ceremony, we're thrilled that they were able to do that. And the way we serve, if you don't think this is a proud father, if you don't think this is a proud mother, thankful for the way we have served them, then I think you do. And so we've really been able to serve our campuses and our communities in ways that so many institutions were not able to. And here are some things that, Ms. Jagan, I'd like to thank you on behalf of our employees because of the hard work that they've done, because of the hard work that you have done. We had no layoffs. At the home office, we didn't lay off a single person. Throughout the campuses, fewer than 10. There were just a couple of scenarios where it made sense, but everybody had a full paycheck throughout coronavirus and continues to. And that's thanks to you and your dedication, but also thanks to you and your hard work and your maturity to work through this. Here's another thing. We had 0 cases of COVID-19 at the home office. Now, everybody out there is saying, don't say that yet. Don't say that we're over. Yes, we're all going to knock on wood. Actually, I'd like all of us to knock on wood unanimously on the count of 3. We're going to knock on wood. 1, 2, 3. Good and hard. Yeah, right. But no cases. And I know not everyone has felt absolutely comfortable with everything that we've done. But at the same time, with the maturity that we've handled things so well that we haven't spread the virus within our organization. And of course, thanks to you for being safe in your personal lives as well. But at our home office, we haven't had any of that. And you know, we wear our masks every day when we move around. And we will continue that responsible activity. And I'm so thankful that we've been able to accomplish this. So much so that Ms. Jagan has said, you know, okay, we haven't laid anybody off. That's awesome. We haven't had to make drastic changes in how we work things because of our maturity. and we've earned raises next year, and so thank you for that. I was all of us, every single one of us, know people who either were laid off or won't be having raises, or all of the different aspects, but we've been able to keep our business going, and I'm happy to say that that it's paying off for us individually as well. Good stuff. Let me talk to you about some other successes. Our enrollment successes have been extremely strong in 2020. Take a look at there. In October, we stopped and measured, and we saw the highest enrollments of the year at 5480. Our highest enrollments of the year here at the end, where coronavirus would have had the largest impact. And so we've been able to keep supporting the schools so they can keep supporting students. Just to give you a sense of where that lies, year to year, this is let's see, the last 8 years of enrollments. Our October 2020 is the highest enrollment in the past 8 years. And actually, you'd have to go back a couple years before that before you saw anything higher due to online enrollments. So our school system is strong as it's ever been, or stronger, and that's because of the great work that you have done to support the campuses through this time. Compliance rates, we've had some compliance visits from ACCSC, very successful ones there. Student outcomes, the way we've supported students. Did you know that 12 out of the 19 campuses met employment rates even in a year where the employment across the country has been at all-time lows? So that we didn't let up the steam. 9 of the campuses, the majority of them, over half of them, met both graduation and employment rates this year at a time when these student outcomes were the hardest in coronavirus. So hats off to the work you did supporting those schools. Academic affairs and student services at the home office has weekly calls with every campus to support that growth, and I want to thank you for doing that. Great success there. And as you know, we did expand our campuses this year. We saw AMT come into the fold, growing 46% this year in coronavirus, which is absolutely incredible growth. And to see Teterboro part of the fold, we're happy to announce that Teterboro School of Aeronautics will officially become Aviation Institute of Maintenance at Teterboro in January, on January 1st. Those approvals are in, and we will be looking for a new campus location to expand that facility. Our Charlotte location, the other of our 2 new campuses that we really brought to life this year, went from 50 students to 189. Almost 300% growth there. Now, of course, that's a new campus, and they're not having graduation ceremonies yet, but I think maybe they just had their first graduation ceremony in September, or it's coming up. But at any rate, seeing that growth at Charlotte is absolutely awesome. And I don't know, what I want to say is congratulations, Mr. Yegan. We're back on track to growth. Yes. And that's wonderful. And we're going to keep that going. Next year, we're going to see AMW, that's Chicago, as a new AIM campus. We have secured a new facility. This is a brand new building. Nothing has ever been in this building. Beautiful front. The city of Chicago, you see it right there on the skyline. This is right on the edge of downtown Chicago. The city of Chicago supported an artist painting a mural on our building. So it's not just a vanilla building that we'll put a name sign on. It's actually kind of a cultural center as well. 137,000 square feet, the largest building that we have. It's going to be an absolutely wonderful and amazing school there in Chicago. Right now, it is completely barren inside. First time I can remember that we took a building and started from scratch, and this is real scratch. The concrete is going to be poured this month to start that construction. So looking forward to making Chicago school number 20.
That's good, and I have ideas beyond that.
That's right. Keeping up with this guy is quite a challenge. So I want to tell you that our engagement morale, we conducted a student survey. I'm sorry, an employee survey in the summer. And we had some of the highest results to date, especially here in the home office. And I want to say hats off to Jim Donahoe and Marie up in HR for some of the things they've been able to roll out. We've really narrowed the gap on pay and benefits, which is to say we've gotten our highest reviews on pay and benefits because we're making some improvements there. We try to keep those improvements small from year to year, but we have some additional ones. I think one of the most impactful moments for me was the conversation that we led. That is, Paulette and the regional directors got together and had a conversation about racial diversity and the experience that African Americans have as compared to Caucasians. And it was just an important moment for us in July where we stopped and had that conversation. And really, I'm talking about the ACT staff as being a great place to launch what we did, and saw the student through ACT staff. I hope that you watched the videos from month to month. One just went up for this month with Mr. Yegan and his story. So we're going to continue using ACT staff not only as a launching pad for the tools you need, but also for the messaging of who we are and what we do. We've got new programming, a lot of new programming, and I really want to kind of highlight some of it. At the Atlanta campus, you supported Atlanta in getting a degree program. You supported several schools for high school programming, where high school students take coursework while they're in high school at our schools. Online at Chesapeake is really thriving, and the wind turbine program. This is, I got to tell you, over the next few years, you're going to see the wind turbine program that Mike Lanowet developed with CNOR, developed as Paulette really pushes that into the mainstream. And of course, as Governor Northam, I'm not sure if you recognize this or saw this, but Governor Northam did an address to the wind turbine industry last month, where he called out Centura College by name and said, we thank Centura College for our new program in wind turbine technician. Indeed, we are the only accredited wind turbine program in Virginia, and only one of two in the entire country, one in Maine and one here in Virginia at Centura College, our own CNOR. And so the innovation that we're having with our new programs is absolutely great. And I want to throw one more by you. I know we talk a lot about the campuses because the campus is just really the arm where we do the most of our work. But you might remember me mentioning last year a project that Student Affairs was engaging in here at the home office, and that was this. This guy, James English, my brother and a scientist who travels the world to solve infectious disease and have disease control. He's a professor in Washington, D.C., and you might remember me introducing you to the village here in Uganda, where he visited, and he and I were talking. He's a professor at the Uniformed Service University of Health Sciences in D.C., and he was studying ticks in Uganda. That is how the parasites in cattle in Uganda can spread to the people. And he met this young lady, Sharon, on the left side of your screen here in a little village. That's him picking ticks off of cattle. Yep. The villagers helping him. And that is Sharon, the tall girl there that he met. She was unable to go to school until Dr. English supported her. She needed the funds to go to school for a school uniform, and really about $250 was the difference between this young gal having an education or not having an education. He literally pulled his wallet out, handed $300 over to the school, said, get her a uniform, get her in school, and she's in school today. But the question that I had for James, Dr. English, was, is there anything we can do if this school, the Kuoko Citizens Primary School in Uganda, is there anything they need? Is there anything that Centura College, you need anything that Joel English and Jerry Yegan can do to contribute to what they do and contribute to Sharon's education? And he asked the headmaster there, And and you might remember me telling you last year, this school, this primary and secondary school in Uganda, had a need, and the need that they had was computers. The one thing that this school didn't have that could really connect them was a computer. And we said, okay. You might remember a year ago we switched from the Lenovo device to the today's Microsoft Surface device for our students. And in stock we had 60 or 70 computers left over. And we said, well, this school needs computers. We have some spare ones that we consider our older computers. And Ben Clark and his staff worked to get 30 of those machines to Uganda, and they were delivered this year. I'm going to kind of let this play, and you'll see the truck pulling up, delivering these to these schools. You might remember down on the first floor, there were these boxes of computers piled up for several weeks because getting computers to Uganda turned out to be a bigger challenge than anything. But they finally got there, been pulled through, and what you see here is the school children at this school accepting computers from your home office of Centura College and bringing them in. Now, the first thing I saw was, oh, wait, they make their children work. What a concept! Work for their own thing. And sure enough, that's them. I'm going to try. I can't. I'm going to try see if I can. Nope, I can't scroll forward any. But just such a wonderful thing for your organization contributing to the worldwide community. And boy, if you don't think that makes us look good in what we do, I don't know what you're missing, because to me, a school that doesn't mean anything until we mean something to somebody. And what I'm seeing here is us meaning something in our local communities, and the home office contributing to what we mean to a global community. And I'm just so proud of you, the work you've done, and how we've accomplished. When we become the solution to the problems of those around us, we've accomplished something of value. And here we are. We literally had spare machines and a school in need, and we provided a solution to that problem with what we had around us. Our goal is to become consubstantial. That's at one with the community around us, and you've really accomplished that this year. We really are community career colleges. Folks, you've made this look good, and I just really want to thank you for the awesome work you've done. This is a business meeting, and so really quickly, I'm going to show you some of the statistics of the business side. We won't go into too much detail, but hey, if you ever wanted to know what kind of income situation we look like, here's the last 12 months of financial performance. And you'll see on the right-hand side, some of our schools have been very successful. Look at Atlanta, 1,000 students at Atlanta, they made almost $6 million. Some schools not so much. Charlotte, new campus, lost almost $1 million. And so Mr. Yegan, here's his philosophy has always been, look, we'd like to make money at what we do, but we're willing to invest in the development needed. Take a look at the Centura colleges at the bottom. You'll see that Centura College has been a weight on us financially, and this year is the same. CPEN, the Newport News campus, was successful, but you'll see that Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Senor, Crim, all of those have struggled this year for a total of a loss of over $1 million. How does Mr. Yegan think about this? How do I think about this? I think about it, well, those schools need to develop. They need to grow. We need to continue to support those to build up. But we're willing to invest in that as long as overall our corporation can stand strong. And as you see, our corporation indeed has stood strong with over $11 million in profitability. Just to give you a sense of how that looks compared to other years. Here's the last 5 years of profitability down the row. And you see, just going to look at the very bottom line there. As an organization in 2016, we made almost $4 million. We had a great year up in 2017. There were some reasons that boosted that nicely. We've been profitable to the tune of just over $8.5 million over the last couple of years, but 2020 back up very strong, over 10 million, over 11 million profitability. And so this has been a great year. Just to kind of get a visual look at that. 2020, a year that has been very hard on many companies all over the country, all over the world, but because of your hard work, we've been able to continue to be successful in this year. Thank you so much for your hard work and dedication. I really appreciate that, and happy to open the books and let you take a look at how that looks on a business side. Moneymakers, last year there were, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 campuses that were profitable, so about half. This year, we added a couple to it, so 11 campuses profitable this year, and so by continuing to push the number of schools that support themselves financially, we're able to support our students more, invest more in our schools, open more campuses, and do what we can do to be a productive company. I think that with a look at our budgets, it'll be up to 14 or 15 schools that are profitable next year. So we'll be even stronger, and I look forward to great growth. Quick look at where we're headed in the coming year. I do want to talk to you a little bit about the structure of our organization. This is our structure today. If you said to me today, hey, what does our org chart looks like? Here's what it looks like. Mr. Yegan on top, a couple of vice presidents, and myself and Charlie Parker, and then all of our divisions below us. Now there were some things about this that I didn't particularly care for, and I want to talk about that structure and how we're changing it some. If you were one of the department directors at the campus director meeting a couple weeks ago, you saw this and saw some of the changes we're making, and it really starts with some observations. I'm going to give you some observations on our current structure here, and by the look at the haggard old guy on the screen, you'll know I'm going to say maybe some negative things about this current structure. I mean, I call it observations. I had another title that I was going to say. I tried to come up with the meanest title I could for this observation, and the meanest thing I could come up with was Diane flipping you off with a croissant. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. But what would I never want to happen? I would never want to get flipped off by Diane with a. I even had a picture to go along with it. It's Diane flipping you off with a croissant. Now that's mean and haggard, and nobody wants that. So I kind of pared it down a little bit to just observations about the current structure. But okay, that was really weird. I know. Okay, so here are my observations. Our current structure is very traditional. When you look at an org chart, that's the kind of thing you think you want to see. It's very top down. It's Mr. Yegan, the top dog up there. Me and Charlie, the next dogs, there, and very top down. Almost, you look at where we position the campuses. It's the corporate rules everything, and the campuses are dominated by us, right? Vice President of Ops has a whole lot to do. That's one of the things that people pointed out, and I will agree. My job has been so busy. I don't think I've done it terribly well. I think it's too much for one person to take on. Probably the worst part of it is that the company is bifurcated. That is, there's the us and them associated with marketing emissions versus operations, and I think that's something that has plagued us over the past several years, and so it's not positive. It makes communication not an automatic thing. And then probably the biggest thing missing is there are no students. Students are what our entire organization is about, and yet they don't appear anywhere on the org chart. So those are some haggard comments that I want to kind of do away with, and we're going to break that away in the coming year. And here's what our org chart is going to take form as. The first thing I want to put in the center is students. Students at the center. And then at the campus, and this really is the campus at the center, are the admissions and program coordinators, instructors, the administrative staff that serve those students face-to-face or online, but really touch those students centrally. Of course, there are department directors, a DOE, a DOA, an assistant director at the campus managing those staff, and a campus executive director there. Now, there is some change right there in the campus, but really your new organization chart, that takes over today puts the campus not at the bottom to be ruled and dominated by the corporate office, but rather at the center. The campus is at the center, and everything else flows out from there in what I'm going to call circles of responsibility, or zones of oversight or direction, right? We're going to have 3 zones within this organizational structure. Campus operations is certainly one of them, and certainly there are regional directors who are the bosses, so to speak, of the campus executive director. But as you see, it's the corporate structure laying behind the campus. It's almost a 3-dimensional thing we're talking about here, where we exist to serve the campuses. And there's a vice president of campus operation who oversees the regional directors as they direct the campuses. So that's one of the circles of influence. And I think that's kind of the label I'm going to land on. The circle of influence is campus operations. And there's a second set of influence in marketing and enrollment management. And we know that there's a vice president of marketing and enrollment management, and that person oversees the areas of influence, including account management of the vendors who provide advertising for us, the advertising director who does the placement, analytics and performance management, that is thinking about what's working in our schools' enrollment processes, and the training arm. So all of that falls under the vice president of marketing and enrollment management in that circle of influence. And then there's a third circle of influence in our organization. That third circle is administration. And that really is where most of us here at the home office fit in. Not all, but most of the home office really influence the administrative side. And there's going to be a vice president of administration that oversees that. And so if you're in academic affairs, financial aid, bursar, student financial services, compliance, information technology, or building maintenance, you're part of that circle of influence in administration that supports the school and has some dotted line, I won't really say oversight, but I certainly will say training, guidance, and feedback, assessment to the schools. So whereas we once had a very traditional org chart where the president was on top and all I guess the power flows downward from there, I really consider Mr. Yegan and I as support and encouragement, yes, and maybe a stick once in a while, but certainly a place of resources to support you at the home office, who in turn support the campuses, who in turn support the students. And that's really, I think, the way the focus of this new organization goes. Now, we know that we have vice presidents, and this is going to be possibly kind of new to you, and I know you've probably heard of this some. But Charlie Parker, Vice President of Marketing and Enrollment Management. Dr. Lana Wett has accepted the position of Vice President of Administration. So if you're in one of those roles, you'll have a new doctor to talk with. And quite frankly, Dr. Lana Wett will have a lot more time to work with those departments than I have had recently. And happy to let you know, if you haven't heard already, that Pat Thomas is the Vice President of Campus Operations and overseeing the regional directors. The regional directors are 4. Jeremiah Scarborough, Paulette Thomas Collins, Leonard Merritt, and Greg Daniel, all our regional directors who oversee 5 of the campuses apiece. So we'll make this org chart public to you here in the next few days, but that's really how we're thinking about our structure working. And each of the regional directors have, I'll make sure that you have this in writing too, 5 campuses per regional director overseeing everything that happens at the campuses. So I think that that's a very impactful thing. Additional enhancements I'll throw out. You're going to see us orient our workplace as one organization over the next few months. You're going to see a little bit of build out. We're going to focus really on the first floor and build out a new look for the interior. And we're going to renovate the restrooms as well in this building, and really kind of start customizing our environment to match this collaborative organization that we see. We're going to recommit to home office as the support system for campus success. I'm going to ask Dr. Lanowet to talk about that in just a little bit and really focus on everything we do supporting the campus, which supports the students. I am here to say that our controller, Joanne Handyside, has announced that she plans to retire early in the year. And so we're going to launch next week a look for a new director of accounting and finance to take her place. Mr. Yegan told you earlier this year that there's possibility for new ownership as he looks at retirement. There is not significant progress toward that at this point, but that certainly will be a possibility for us in the coming time. And that part of the organization of the new org chart is to say, all right, we want something that will withstand a change of ownership and withstand a new administration. We're going to renew our investment in political outreach. Some of you might know that not too long ago, last month, Elaine Luria came to several of our schools, wanted to see what we do, wanted to talk to our veterans. This is a veteran instructor. This is another instructor at Tidewater Tech. She wanted to see everything that we do and really recommit to skilled trades. And Mike showed her around and said, look at the vision. I love that picture because it kind of reminded me of a time I took the mayor around and said, look at the vision. And then I realized, oh, that's kind of Woody and Buzz, kind of. But anyway, showing the recommitment. By the way, this picture was taken by Elaine Luria's staff and put up on Congresswoman Luria's own Twitter site. So for us to show up as on her Twitter site was really to do something great. So we'll continue to commit to our communities. We're going to enhance your experience. Before the beginning of next year, we're going to announce to you here's kind of a preview, a fully online option for attaining your bachelor's degree through the Chesapeake campus. In a way that's more affordable to you than it has been in any other kind of design. So we want you to be able to attain a bachelor's degree if you don't have one, and we're going to roll that out as a way to do that. You are the most important resource for our employers, and I think we really are the greatest school group that's ever been. And I know I talked fast and went through a lot of stuff with you. But I'd really love to hear from our three vice presidents pretty briefly. So, Charlie, if you don't mind, why don't you talk to us a little bit about marketing admissions and enrollment?
Thanks, Joel. So I'll take, I got about 5 minutes, and I want to go through a couple things. And, I love the center of that org chart, and it's students first. And with all of us, we support our campuses. And with that, over the last 90 years, goodness gracious, over the last 90 days, which I'm about a couple weeks off of being here, 3 months, we've set our sights on that goal of supporting the campuses, supporting our students, and doing the things that we need to do to make them better each day. And part of that was in our subtle name change. I don't know if people caught that, but instead of marketing admissions, we changed it to marketing and enrollment management. And the reason for that is really simple by the definition. And it's really our institutional response to the recruitment and the opportunities that lay in front of us from a strategic standpoint as our campuses are on the tactical line to ensure the student success, to ensure the outcomes are there. But we are an integral part working in tandem with them, kind of shoulder to shoulder almost, to ensure that happens with different responsibilities, of course. And with those different responsibilities, we also looked at our own structure within marketing. And I want to tell you, and I said this from the first day I was here, and it has not changed after 3 months. We have 12 individuals in Suite 100 on the garden level that are highly impactful, highly skilled. There is not a better dedicated staff of caring professionals that I've been around in a while that support the campuses and students. And with that goal in mind, kind of in the center of that Venn diagram, with student first philosophy, we decided to break it into 4 distinct sections. And those sections are ownership, if you will. So if you come to a table, there'll be 4 seats at that table for the direction on what we can do each day to increase the likelihood of outcomes for our campuses. That first area is creative, advertising. The second area is agency relations. And kind of account management to ensure our partners and us are also in lockstep and doing the things that we need to do, having a fiduciary responsibility to our spend that our campuses have in their profit and loss statements, that those things are having productive outcomes. Thirdly, analysis and performance of that. We got to make sure what we're doing with the money we spend, we're conscious with, and we're having the proper conversions in the lift so that we're 2% better each day as we work hard for the campuses each day. Sorry for the redundancy. And then thirdly, we tie it all in, and it's kind of, if you look at a brick house, all the mortar that's in between all those bricks, all the I'm going to say stuff in quotation marks because I can't think of the word because I'm also trying to stay on cue. I don't want to, Lord, you know I can talk. So with all those bricks, we have to have training and development. We have to have an ability. I mean, I heard it best from a colleague I was talking to yesterday, and we're an educational institution. Internally, we need to educate our people to be better, to develop them. You spend a third of your life at work. And during that third of your life, you want to be impactful. You want to better yourself. So part of that next seat at that table, those 4 seats, is training and development. Creative advertising is to be led by Roxanne. Agency relations, account management, and all of our partner programs is to be led by Teresa. Our analyst and performance management, who has already stepped in a very short time she's been here and just jumped in, not with both feet, but with whole body into that, which is Nicole Sanders. And I'm extremely happy on the promotion of Ashley Morgan to the area of Director of Training and Development. And she is part of that team with training and development. So as you look at this, everybody's going to have a piece of accountability that rolls into one goal for our suite down here of admissions and enrollment management for the sole purpose of supporting the campus and the students that are walking our halls and graduating and working in the fields that they're in. And I'm happy to say that we've all come together and we all support these sections so that we can be successful. Other than that, I don't have anything other to say. Is just like to Mr. Yagan, after being here 90 days, seeing the museum, seeing the dinosaurs, seeing his dinosaur mask, watching the passion he has walking around these halls, listening to my fellow VPs and listening to Joel, I can't tell you there's no other place to be at in 2021 and beyond. That we have a lot of good things in store for us, and it's not about money. It's actually delivering something that's going to change the world, and trades never stop. Thanks, Joel.
That was awesome. I'm applying to admissions.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's awesome. Thank you, Charlie. Hey, Pat, tell us a little bit about campus operations and what we should be thinking about as you kind of take the lead in that role. Possibly.
Okay.
Yep. Could be on.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Joel,
Yep.
for the introduction. I'm just going to take a second. You know, a few months ago, I had a conversation with Joel, and he said something to me, which he has said to all of us today. He wants to be the best career and trade school ever. And I thought, that's Joel, lofty goals, you know, okay. But, you know, I think we can be. I think we're almost there. I've always felt as though we were a bit fractured here and between us and the campuses and admissions. And I truly believe that we're all awesome at our jobs, but that's as individual departments. And I think and I hope that us coming together is going to make the big difference and take us that one step further. You know, just very briefly, I would say that I consider Mike and Charlie to be like family. It's happened quickly, but Mike is my older brother because I'm sure he's a lot older than me. Charlie's my younger brother, and we challenge each other. We challenge each other a lot, but at the end of the day, family is first, whether it's your family at home or your work family here. And I believe that we can make this happen. And thanks in advance to everybody at the home office for helping us reach Joel's lofty goal.
Awesome. Hey, Pat, thank you very much. So Mike, kind of, I don't know, I'm not supposed to say new sheriff in town or anything, but talk to us a little bit about your hopes, dreams, and goals as the VP of Administration.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. And I don't think we need to use the slide presentation, Joel. I think we're moving along at a pretty good clip. So
Okay.
I'll just kind of give some kind of a 20,000 foot view. You know, Pat mentioned it again, your goal about being the best. And I do think it's something we can do. But to do that, we do need to bring together what the home office does with the schools. And to do that, we've already kind of started that by you know, hitting the perceptions of how the school perceives the home office. And then just yesterday, we sent a survey out for the the campuses perceiving the home office. And then yesterday, sent out a survey wanting to know how the home office perceives the campuses. So we're going to kind of try to feel, you know, how everybody feels about each other. I would like to report out on that a little bit, so the campuses, so the home office is aware of it. This is the campuses, how the campuses perceive the home office. Overall, I was very happy to notify you that 86% of our schools believe that the home office helps them be compliant. And a real major shout out on 3 departments. It's Bursar's department, the compliance department, and the HR department that all scored 100%. So that was fantastic. Another perceptual question I asked for the schools on how they felt the home office helped them with customer service, and that averaged right around 79%, which you know, it's kind of a C+ or a B-. And that's a great area to start, a great area opportunity to start, because I do think overall we've got some wonderful people here at the home office, but we're going to really dial in that, because frankly, you can't be the best school system the country's ever had with 79%. 79% is good, but to be the best, we got to get that up there. So we're going to definitely be working on that. We're going to help the schools. As I said, as I've told everybody that I've met with in the last couple of days, the schools are our customer, but we're also their parent. So we're going to be helping them look at some key indicators they really have never looked at before in a little more detail. We're going to drill down into past due. We're going to be drilling down a little bit into packaging. We're going to be drilling down a little bit into corporate expense. I know one of the things the schools are notorious for saying is, you know, what's all this corporate overhead stuff? And we're going to be looking at that a little bit through a little bit different lens. We're going to be looking at corporate expense per student, and let's make sure that the home office is giving our customers the value that they see, but also reminding them what they get for that value. I mean, they get HR, they get default management, they get facility, they get academics support, they get curriculum support. There's a lot of support we give them. We're also going to be helping them with their facilities. You know, I've visited a lot of the schools in my short tenure here. A lot of the newer schools look just absolutely fantastic, and several of our schools look pretty good. And then there are a few that are a little rough around the edges and need some help. And one of those facilities actually is our home office. And as Joel mentioned, we're going to be doing some things to spiffen that up pretty quickly here. Let's see here. One last note that I wanted to bring up, which is very bittersweet. At the CED meeting, Joel announced that Joanne Handyside was going to be retiring after decades of wonderful service with our company. One of the hardest things I have to do now in my position is let everyone know of another individual that's going to be retiring sometime at the beginning of the year, and that would be Tina Kordek. You know, her as the director of compliance, she has just done such a phenomenal job for us. She is such a behind the scenes person, but I can tell you from someone that has worked with multiple schools across the country, to do what she has done seamlessly and behind the scenes is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing to me when I first got here, my first concern is always compliance. It's always compliance. It doesn't matter whether you run a good school if you're not doing something, not filling out some state form or some programmatic form or some accrediting form or a compliance form. And her team, or her driving her team, hits it every time. We're talking about hundreds of compliance documents that have to be done every year, and the schools really don't see a lot of that. They may get a form they sign and send back. So I'd like to personally thank Tina for all her hard work and all her her efforts. Just well done, well earned. Just decades and decades of service. You have, I'll tell you this, Tina, on a personal note, whenever I tell somebody who's leaving, you've changed lives. You've made a difference. You've made a difference, and I appreciate that on behalf of all the students in the schools. I'd like to thank you. So we'll be formally looking for her replacement here very shortly. But please, sometime today, or drop her an email and thank her for all she did. So that's the home office.
Thank you so much, Mike. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Congratulations over 30 years of service to students and campuses, Tina. Thank you very much. Well, folks, thanks for kind of sitting through the business side of our meeting this morning. And now comes the good part, where we specifically take a look at some of the absolute excellence that you all have distributed and exhibited in our organization. We've got a number of awards that we'd like to do. The first set of awards are really kind of demonstrating milestones of great success within the time that we've spent here. And Nicole Gleaton is going to take it away and talk to us about some of the people who have hit important milestones in work. Go ahead, Nicole.
Good morning. Tina and Joanne, thank you for your decades of combined service and congratulations on your pending retirements. Every year we like to take a few minutes to celebrate some milestones in years of service within our organization. So congratulations for 5 years of service to Marie Borman, Brittany Burnham, Wakita Stringfield, and congratulations to 10 years of service to Joanne Handyside, Jamie Johnson, Vanessa McClendon, Tahira Muhammad, Diane Perez, Nancy Stanford, Iris Whidbey, and Rayvita Woodley.
And
Also,
so how many of those years that Diane served did she inappropriately use croissants? Any idea?
that was one occasion.
Only on one occasion. Okay.
And congratulations for 15 years of service to Chuck Byrne, Carla Klein, Kat Flores, Denise Hayes, and Candace Melvin. And for our last milestone this year, we have someone who has been with the organization for 20 years. Congratulations for 2 decades of service to Tamika Crumble.
Thank you.
Tamika, that's awesome. We're coming to you live in your office. And this is kind of
I'm so happy. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Tamika, you're an essential part of a great team. Thanks so much. Awesome. Great. So the next award we're going to turn over to Charlie on the garden level. By the way, I love the rephrasing of the garden level, and we have minds all across the building trying to come up with other awesome names for the different floors we have. Charlie, take it away.
Thanks, Joel. So here in the garden level, we have the distinct honor of naming our admissions and enrollment management person of the year. And, these things are never easy, obviously. They're hard to do. It's extremely frustrating at times because once you think of one person, you think of another, then you think of another, and then it starts to domino. But this individual, from the exact minute I walked in this door, whether he had a Taco Bell bag or whether he was in front of his monitor, just doing everything he can behind the scenes, which a lot of us don't see, to make our campuses better. And not only that, but he was always a Johnny on the spot with some items that would come before him and was very quick to react to them and to also take care of them in a very, very efficient manner. His diligence is always recognized. One of the other things that this individual showed, and maybe I shared the gender too early, but another quality that this individual showed was his complete dedication to solution mind, to having a solution mind. He never brings a problem. He always brings a solution to whatever we're talking about. And that is a quality that some share, but not all share. So that's a unique quality he has. And he's always eager to jump in. The last quality is something that I personally appreciate because it's hard to do. It's a choice that you make. And that's his positive their positive attitude. And a quote that I have that someone gave me, and it's an exact quote, it says, "I have never seen this fella in a bad mood." And that means he rolls with the punches, because as we all know, we have to react to things. Not everything is proactively done. And this individual is smoking good at what they do. And I'm really proud to present this award to Mr. Mike Bond.
Holy
Yeah!
wow. Thank you. Mike, thank you so much. Shoot.
That is awesome. You know what?
You got it.
Oh man, that's cool.
All right, I gotta go.
Awesome. Mike, man, I remember when you were just born 15 years ago, and it is so cool to see you contribute in so many different ways, from the online campus to, IT and what you're doing in advertising. So very cool, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. So it's my distinct honor for the last time, I suppose, to step up and give the award for the administrative end of things, the administration area. It's commonly called the second floor, although I promise we're going to mix that up some in the coming year. And I want to present the award to somebody who has been brilliant beyond their abilities and positions. Person's been with us over a decade, and has thrived in so many different settings. Most recently, I've worked very, very close with this person, and have been able to benefit from the very best that a person in my position can benefit from, which is being able to be me in ways that I want to be me more because of the way they do their job. I've said to some of my leaders before, when it's time to let somebody go. Nobody likes firing people, and it's a terrible thing when that has to happen. But it's time to let somebody go when you have to be somebody different than you want to be in order to employ them. If you haven't, to managers out there, if you have to become somebody different, a person that you don't want to be, just to keep somebody on the team, then probably it's time to let them go so you can be you. And the reverse of that is when you find a team member that is so good at what they do that you're able to be more of who you want to be because they're taking care of the other things, you've got a special, special person. And I'm going to tell you, this person that is winning this award has allowed me to become more of who I wanted to be as a leader, because she's around and she's impacted every one of your lives in some ways that you don't even understand. She's impacted my life by allowing me to be more of what I want to be as a leader and as a manager. And she's allowed me to touch more students' lives and in positive ways because she's taking care of a lot of the things that one time I thought only I could do. She's an incredibly great partner. And Nicole Gleaton, you are awesome.
Hey, congratulations.
You, Joel. Thank you.
Awesome. Nicole, you're awesome. Thank you. So let's hit the third floor. Mike, I think you're going to talk to us about what's happening up there.
I am, and I want to talk about the absolute critical importance of the student financial area. It's my pleasure to award the Student Financial Professional of the Year Award to an individual who's just done amazing things. I don't know her, to be honest with you, but I'm looking forward to getting to know her, because when I first asked one of her supervisors, first response was, she is amazing. She is someone who we can always count on. And whenever it comes to any kind of special project or special needs, this is the person that we go to. I would like to reiterate the importance of financial aid, which again, it tends to be one of those kind of back behind the curtain home office type of a things. Joel earlier showed a bunch of zeros up there, a bunch of millions of dollars made. Make no mistake, when I talk to schools about how much money they make, you can make that 10% of that if it wasn't for their financial aid department, both the home office and the school. Because make no mistake, the amount of money we make, 90% of it is only because someone here at the home office or someone in the financial aid department at the school has done some kind of processing, pushed some paper. So it's one thing to start as students, it's another thing to make sure that their financial aid is squared away. So, and this individual is really at the tip of the spear of that. She's been with us for 15 years, and I think what makes it even more special is this individual not only has worked at the home office, but also understands the other side of it, which is she's also worked successfully at a campus. So it is my great pleasure to announce the award winner for the Student Financial Professional of the Year to Connie Bertimo.
Woo! Congratulations.
Woo!
Surprise. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is nice. I love it.
Connie, we'd like you to just give like a 30-minute speech to everybody, if you don't mind. Go right ahead.
That's nice.
Awesome. Congratulations, Connie. It's so wonderful. Just great. Just great. Let's see. Let's go to the fourth floor and talk a little bit to our folks up there. And Joanne, I think you're going to take it from here.
I will certainly do that. And Charlie started off these awards by mentioning how difficult it is, to make this choice here, because here on the fourth floor, Jim and I do have 8 super valuable staff members who really handle all aspects of over probably 950 employees, as well as the campuses, processing not only their in employee records and making sure they get paid, but also all the campus support items that are handled up here. So it is a difficult decision, but the Accounting and HR Professional of the Year this year is awarded to an employee who is staff member who has always been an advocate for all of the employees. She is kind of behind the scenes. She does have, she is somewhat outspoken and that kind of thing, but she will be the first one to step up and support and make sure that every individual within the entire organization is adequately paid and is taken care of in all aspects. In addition, over the past 5 months, this individual has worked tirelessly, including many nights and weekends, as the driving force in propelling us forward towards the acquisition and implementation of the new timekeeping, payroll, and employee benefit system that we have just begun using. And there are many, many features that are available within this Paycom platform that we will be continuing to bring forth under her guidance and developing, so that we can enhance our ability to provide the added services to both managers here and the entire staff. So with her dedication to all company personnel, the Accounting and HR Award is presented to Debbie Protze. And she is unavailable to be here today because she's taking a well-deserved day off. But tomorrow I will be presenting this plaque to her on her behalf. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Debbie. Absolutely wonderful. Got just a couple more, and we'll be through for the day. This is one of my one of the truly special ones, and that is the Senior Leadership Award. Generally, we stop and thank one of the leaders that has been around for us a while and also is senior in their career, usually at a director level. The person we're going to take a moment to recognize this time is someone who's been with us for over a decade and has really contributed in some incredible ways behind the scenes behind the scenes structurally as an organization. You know, we've got a great responsibility as not only to serve the student well, but serve the institution itself well. Not everybody realizes that if we don't support ourselves as an organization financially, well, we get in trouble for that. It's actually a requirement that we not only make money, but do it in a compliant way and pay everyone and get all of the everything that we have together in a financial package. And I have never met a financial leader that has had things so squared away, so tightly knit, and her eye on detail more than Miss Joanne Handyside. Joanne, thank you and great job as our senior leader of the year.
Thank you very much. This is a great surprise. And Mr. Yeagan, I have worked here in this seat with you for the past 10 years, but we worked together for probably 20 some odd years. And it's been a joyful ride. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Joanne. That's absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
We have one award left, and Mr. Yeagan, I'd love for you to help me give this one away.
Certainly.
So our top award for the year is really around that theme of campus support. Indeed, our organization exists only because we have 19 other organizations out there who are serving our students. And so all of our jobs here is to support the campus. So we stop each year and get input from the campuses about who supported them the most. And we're going to do that. Mr. Yeagan and I are going to try something a little different. Here's what we're going to try to do. Give me just a moment here to fiddle with technology. Okay. Yep. Hold on. Okay, I think this is working. So now hopefully you hear me and we're good to go. So Mr. Yeagan, now we're on camera. See us there?
Oh yeah.
A little different. We're going to take a walk. Would you take a walk with me?
Certainly.
So why don't you hold that and follow me? And what I want to do is thank you all for the great work that you have done supporting campuses over the year. What I usually do is remember, this award is completely from the campuses. The campuses themselves submitted nominations and comments. And so before we really kind of talk to the actual winner, I want to commend Jennifer Ligers, James Wood, Mandy Turner, Sandra Moss, all people who were mentioned by the campuses as being absolute great contributors. Danielle Allen, Ralph Russo, Debbie Pratzi, all people that the campuses specifically supported and reached out to us saying, hey, these guys did a great job. Look at that name right there.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Tipple. Tipple. Mentioned by a campus saying, yeah, this guy, you should keep him around a little bit. Tipple, that's awesome. So congratulations to all of those names we mentioned for the campuses really reaching out and saying, hey, they did great for us. But there is a top winner. The top winner is the person who the most campus level folks reached out and said, this person really makes a great a deal of impression on us and helps us with our students. I'll give a couple quotes. Some of the campuses said, we want to nominate this person because she's ready to help and very responsive to anyone who's had contact with her. They said, any task you give and question, she'll immediately respond without hesitation. She's always willing to assist and she's very pleasant. Another campus said, since assuming her current position, she's provided an increased level of support to the whole department. She's updated the faculty and Microsoft training. She's allowed instructors to be trained as they become instructors. She follows up with certificates. She's modified the website to provide accurate, updated, and easily accessible documents. She ensures that publishers are quick to respond to requests. At all times, she remains available to assist with everything she can. We can't support the campus without strong professionals that help out and support the schools. So it is our pleasure to, yes. It is our pleasure to see if we can get my camera turned around. I can't do it, so I'll do a selfie for Miss Abel Fulp. Hey, Abel.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Abel, I know you spent a lot of time at our Chesapeake campus and have done such great work. And we just want to congratulate you for the campuses reaching out and saying you're the best.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right. Hey, sorry about the echo. You know, that was the one thing we couldn't quite figure out. But at any rate, oh, where'd we go? There you are, sir. So thanks so much for your time this morning, for playing along and for being part of our team. I look forward to lots of innovation next year as we continue to support students. Mr. Yagan, what do you got to say?
I think next year is going to be even a better year than this year, and this year is going to be tough to overcome. Okay, so it's going to do good, very good. Thank you for everybody participating and all your hard work.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.